Valley Club, major changes to Commander's Journey have arrived. Character farming locations are all mixed up. Some are easier to get, some are harder to get. And we also have some legendary requirements that have been expanded. What does this mean for you? We're discussing all the changes in this video. And if you're ready for that, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're talking about all of the changes that have arrived to the Commander's Journey character farming locations. Easier legendaries to obtain. But before we get to all that, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's more. We have reveal videos, question and answer videos, news videos, everything to help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But let's talk about the changes that the Commander's Journey and character farming locations have been updated. Updated locations of characters so that newer commanders will have access to more of their favorite Marvel characters, while ensuring these characters that are more firmly stand the test of time as the meta shifts. Now, if you're a seasoned commander, you've been playing for a while, this shouldn't change your day-to-day experience too much. Some of the places you're farming characters have shifted, but like they say here, not much is going to change from your day-to-day. You probably noticed that some of the characters that have multiple shard locations will be accessible earlier, and to remove minions from all orbs, all campaign nodes, but you can still find them in the bottom of the Blitz, Raid, and Arena store, and all minions will now unlock at 1 stars. But now that Kree minions aren't required to unlock Nick Fury, not that big of a deal that we can't get these minions, and we don't really need to build up these minions now. We're going to take a look at all the changes, but before we get to that, the level ranges accompanying the campaign areas are meant to estimate when you could expect these available. So these aren't hard, fast requirements, but more estimates of when we reach these levels. You probably should have access to these nodes. If you see any characters with an icon in their lower right, it means they're also obtainable in either a shop or earlier campaign nodes. So let's go take a look at the image and take a look at the normal campaign missions. These numbers on the right are estimates of what commander level you need to be to reach these, and level 70 and above for the normal campaign missions, level 75 and above for the hard and incursion campaign missions. So taking a look at this, each node by node, you'll see all these minions are gone, and some of these characters that were available very late are now easier to farm. Some of these characters, unfortunately, are a little harder to farm, but some characters in the early stages that still have value in the end game. Gamora, part of the Infinity Watch, Mysterio, part of the Superior and Sinister Six, Venom is a great part of that hive mind character, and Shang-Chi does still have value in late game right now. Some characters in this next section here, Hela is available a lot earlier. I remember she was one of the tougher characters to farm. Kingpin also has some value as part of the Underworld team. Not too much use for the rest of these characters. Maybe Doctor Strange, but not a lot of use for the rest of these characters. Moving on to this next section, estimates of commanders level 20 to 29. Here the only real character that I see that's used in endgame is Sting. Squirrel Girl is going to give you some value up to a certain point. Same thing with maybe a character like Jane Foster or Winter Soldier. And Ghost Rider, the original Ghost Rider, is part of that Dark Hunters team, but not a lot of use for the rest of these characters. And maybe Jessica Jones for that A-Force as well. Moving on to this next section for commanders level 30 to 39, we have Colossus here, who is going to get a rework coming soon. Emma Frost still used in the endgame. Captain America, part of that out-of-time team, very, very valuable. Nebula is part of that Infinity Watch. The rest of these characters don't look like they have too much use. Next level, not too many useful characters here. Psylocke is a horseman character, so if you don't have Apocalypse unlocked, you eventually are going to need to build up Psylocke. Rescue is part of that Pegasus team, very, very good. Next section, we see Moondragon here, who is in part of the Infinity Watch. We see a horseman in Phantom X. We see Elsa Bloodstone, part of that Dark Hunters. Not a lot of use for the rest of these characters. I guess we have another Dark Hunter here. We have Nakia, Okoye, and that is about it on this section. Gwenpool got removed from the Blitz store. She's now available in the campaigns. Also, Cho is here for Apocalypse if you don't have him yet. The rest of these characters, not really too much use. Captain America World War II is part of that Invaders team, but they're not a very good team, and they are going to be replaced soon. And moving on to this last section of the normal campaign nodes, we see Firestar here, got moved out of the War store into this normal campaigns. She-Hulk is here as well, and you need her for a Horseman team. Mockingbird for the New Avengers. Dark Beast for the Death Seed Horseman team. We have an Invader here in Bucky Barnes. A-Force character in Spider-Woman, and Bifrost member in Loki. And we also have Namor here, who is data mined as being part of the upcoming Cabal team. Not too many changes for these hard campaign nodes and these incursion campaign nodes. Most of these characters here are farmable in other areas, as indicated by this little icon in this right box there. But we have Dark character that's still here. Mysterio got added to this section. Deadpool got added to this section. But most of these characters that were here are still here in this section here. Moving on to the changes of the store. Most of the major changes to these stores where characters were removed from one store, added to a different store, and obviously the minions were added to the Blitz, Raid, and Arena stores. If we look at this section here, there's some of the top characters that you should probably be farming. Rescue, a part of the Pegasus team. Namor, part of the, or at least data mine to be a part of the upcoming Cabal team. Deadpool is going to be a part of the next Merc team, which is going to have a legendary character. She-Hulk is a important unlock for Apocalypse, Mockingbird, She-Hulk as well. So a lot of these top characters are in this top left-hand section here. And then it goes down, and as you see, the bottom section is where all the minions characters were. But notable changes: Gwenpool was removed from the Blitz store, Cho was removed, Gamora was removed, Coulson was removed as well. Deadpool did get added, and a bunch of minions as well. Moving on to the Raid store, and estimates is around Commander level 25 is when you can start to get some of these characters. We see here, Cyclops is in this store, Miss Marvel, Hardlight, Cho, Dagger, Icarus, Moonstone, Coulson, all in this store, all worthy of farming. Vulture got added to this store as well, but characters are removed from this store. Mysterio mainly removed from this store. Gravitron also added to this store. Moving on to the Arena store, characters that were removed. Deadpool was removed, but who is added in many other areas here. And then the characters that were added, Gambit was added to this store. Loki was added to this store. We see Doctor Strange, Heartless still in this store, Dagger still in this store. A lot of good characters here, but newer players probably should be focusing on the characters like Gambit or Loki. Again, these characters in this left hand, top left hand is some of the great characters, and then the bottom section is the minion characters. Moving on to the War store, this should be accessible around Commander level 45 or so. Characters that were added here, or characters that were removed, include Firestar. Nakia was removed as well. Cull Obsidian was removed. Maria Hill was removed. And characters that were added to the War store include Gravitron, Cersei, Absorbing Man also added to this store. And the Cosmic Crucible store just looks like it got a lot more streamlined. Mainly characters that were removed. I think it's to keep this premium and then add these characters like Gambit or some other characters that you would need a little earlier on. They're added to other places. So while there are some cases that some characters will be harder to get, I think overall it makes these more valuable characters a lot more accessible and a lot easier to get for most players. And some legendary events are getting changes. We saw data mines about this earlier in this week, and we just covered this in the weekly news update. But Adam Warlock, now instead of requiring Jubilee and X-Factor characters, now it's all X-Men or X-Factor characters. A lot of different ways to unlock Adam Warlock now. Omega Red previously used only Secret Avengers and Nick Fury and Winter Soldier. Now it's all Avengers or Nick Fury, Winter Soldier. And Ebony Maw, instead of just Inhumans, now you can unlock it with Inhumans or Bio Hero characters. I think that is great. Also updated star unlocks for the following characters to only 2 stars. So Bishop, Black Panther, Emma Frost, Ghost Rider, the original Ghost Rider, Maria Hill, Moon Knight, Red Skull, and Baron Zemo. And similar to previous changes, you may see legendary events go down for a few minutes to relaunch them. You may notice some characters in your roster ready for unlocking. And in addition to all these changes, they've reworked Dark Dimension requirements to gear tier 12 to have it in line with the rest of the Dark Dimension characters. I think it was based on star levels before. So I think this makes it a lot easier. If you're not able to get the certain stars, you could just put the gear on these characters. And they'll be sending some free resources to everyone that joined before these changes to help you adjust. That's what's going on right now in the game. These changes should be live, or at least most of these changes should be live in the game right now. Let me know your thoughts on them. Hopefully this makes the experience a lot easier for new players to get into that end game a lot sooner. Hopefully this video did provide some value, and if it did, leave it a like. It is free for you and it helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to see what are the biggest trap teams that you probably should temper your investment on, check out the video up there. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist pump, ValleyFlyin out.